Joss wakes up at the Five Poppies to Vaughn surprising her with breakfast in bed, and another show for the staff delivering the meal. As they dig into the breakfast, Joss suggests they split up today to patrol. He should check out the grounds, and she'll check out the facilities, and can even sell it as being interested in the spa. Britt is out tanning on the patio and, via her phone and social media, looks at a photo of Rocco in his baseball uniform. Pascal walks over and says she made excellent progress last night. Britt says when she gets what she wants, they gets results. Pascal notes, "When you aren't distracted." He appears to have noticed she's been fixated on her phone lately. Back in the honeymoon suite, before heading out for the day, Joss reflects on all her times training with Vaughn, their talks, and the romantic moments between them. Vaughn heads out to the patio, meets Britt, and learns she's a resident of the resort. Va talks her up to find out some details about the place and wonders if she could show him around. She quickly notices his wedding ring and wonders if he's happily married. He says he is, and his wife would be fine with him chatting with her. Joss appears in the distance and spots Vaughn talking with a woman flirtatiously, but can't see her face. At the Metro Court pool, Gio tells Rocco that Outback can't stay at Anna's, so they must find her a new home. Obrecht arrives and meets Outback, and says she reminds her of the hound she had as a child. Suddenly, Lulu walks in, sees Rocco with Obrecht and the dog, and storms off. Gio has to get back to work and leaves Rocco to look after Outback. When Obrecht praises dogs as creatures who love unconditionally, Rocco suggests she adopt Outback, and that he'd owe her. At the bar, Emma confronts her grandma for getting Dalton's lecture canceled. Anna admits she did, and she knows it was Dalton's lab in California that she broke into. Now, she's doing it again at PCU to bust him for testing on animals. Did she learn nothing from being expelled from her last school? Anna reminds her a third arrest could jeopardize her future, and that she's only trying to protecting Emma from herself. Lulu goes down to the restaurant and tells Carly that she needs to evict Obrecht from her hotel, now, as she can see Rocco anytime while she's living here. Carly notes Rocco will know she put her up to this, so Lulu tells her to come up with a creative excuse. Carly agrees to find a way to send Obrecht packing. Lulu takes off, and Carly spots Marco talking to Alexis. At a table, Alexis asks for Marco's objective opinion on whether she can get custody of her granddaughter from Drew, in light of the terrible choices he's been making that have negatively affected Scout. Marco agrees with Molly's original assessment that she could only get temporary custody. Alexis knows that means Drew would regain custody and cause even more issues. At the hospital, Drew shows up to see Willow, and she tells him this isn't the time or place. Drew asks when the right time or place is. Lucas intervenes and asks if Drew has business here. Willow lets Lucas know she can handle this and thanks him. Lucas steps away, and Willow tells Drew that he needs to leave. Her work is the one positive she has when she goes to court. Drew cries that he wants to help her get her kids back, but she states she doesn't want or need his help, as he cost her the kids to begin with. At the Q's, Jason discovers Danny picked up Scout from camp and brought her there. Scout happily hugs her Uncle Jason when she sees him. Danny explains that he visited his sister at camp, and she begged him to bring her here. Jason says he has to call Drew, but Scout begs him not to, as she doesn't want to leave. Jason decides to call Alexis, interrupting her meeting with Marco at the Metro Court, and tells her that she has to come to the mansion immediately. Back at the hospital, Drew professes his love to Willow when they're interrupted by a call from Lila's kids. Drew learns Scout is missing and says he'll be right there. Willow tells Drew that when she was a teacher, kids often snuck off to explore, but they always turned up. She asks Drew to let her know when he finds her. Drew leaves, and Lucas saw their entire exchange. Later, Willow finds Lucas in the lounge and thanks him for his help, but says she didn't need it. He snarks that to him. It seemed like she wanted him gone so she could talk to Drew. He says, "Frankly, to be seen talking to that man makes you look pathetic." Willow accuses him of policing her, suggesting he'll probably run back to tattle to Michael and Carly. The two get into a heated argument, with Lucas noting that the day he lost Wiley was the hardest day of his life, and his only comfort was that he knew he'd be safe in her loving arms. Lately, though, she's putting Wiley last and her needs first. He tells her that she's like an addict, and Drew is her drug of choice. Alexis arrives at the Quartermain place and is surprised to see Scout. Jason asks Danny to take Scout to see the horses, and then tells Alexis that Scout begged Danny to bring her here. Alexis feels for Scout, as she misses her family and her mother. Danny and Scout return from the stables, and Jason makes an excuse to give Alexis and Scout time alone. Alexis asks her granddaughter why she left camp. She explains she asks her dad all the time to bring her here, but something always happens and he doesn't. Scout cries that she misses Danny and Rocco and hates not living with them. In the foyer, Jason says his son can't take Scout wherever he wants. Danny says Scout is lonely, and Mom would want him to take care of her. Suddenly, Drew bursts in with Chase and demands to know where his daughter is. Chase explains to Jason that Danny was seen taking Scout from camp. Scout rushes out and into her dad's arms. Drew sends Scout to the car, but she cries that she hasn't even seen Grandma Monica. He says they'll visit another time, which she quickly points out is what he always says. Once Scout leaves, Danny tells Drew that Scout misses them and wants to be here. Alexis asks Drew how a teenager can see this, and he can't. Back at the Metro Court, Carly approaches Marco to discuss things between him and her brother. She wants to make sure he isn't going to make Lucas pick between his father and Sonny, as she doesn't want him to complicate her brother's life. He suggests she's more worried about their dating complicating her life. Carly just doesn't want to see her brother hurt. She tells him that if he's not into Lucas as much as Lucas is into him, she'd rather see him walk away from her brother than hurt him even more down the road. Marco understands where she is coming from and takes off. Up at the pool, Rocco asks Obrecht about adopting Outback. She unfortunately can't, as the hotel doesn't allow pets. Lulu returns and spots her son still with Obrecht. Gio tells Emma that now that Anna knows everything, her plan is over. Emma thinks otherwise. Emma says she'll walk the straight and narrow for the next few weeks, throw her grandma off her trail, and then come after Dalton even harder. Later, Lulu smirks as she watches Rocco tell Obrecht that there is an issue charging her orders to her room, so for now, she needs to use a credit card. Obrecht takes off, and Rocco brings Outback to meet his mom. Rocco asks her if they can adopt Outback, who needs a new home. At the Quartermains, Drew explains he sent Scout to the car, so she doesn't see what is about to happen. Drew tells Chase to arrest Danny for kidnapping his daughter. Everyone gasps, and even Chase is stunned. In the hospital lounge, Willow tells Lucas that Wiley is not his son any longer. Lucas says Wiley's still his family, and her mess is spilling into this hospital. Stella, Liz, Deanna, and more are stepping up to write statements of support for her, and she's making them look like fools by associating with Drew. He tells her to her face that it is clear she cares more about Drew than her kids. Willow up and slaps him, immediately appearing shocked by what she did. At the pool, Lulu tells Rocco they have a lot going to take on a dog, but the minute she learns he asked Obrecht to adopt her first, Lulu agrees to adopt the pup. Rocco embraces her. In the restaurant, Obrecht confronts Carly for being evicted from her room. Carly explains that it has mold, and they'll compensate her with a room elsewhere. Obrecht knows this is Lulu's doing, and insists she'll tell Rocco what his mother's up to. Back at the resort, when Britt asks Vaughn to spray her back, Joss is stunned to get a clear look at a very much alive Britt. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Welcome to the General Hospital Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. It's rare to see a character go through such a dramatic transformation on a soap, but Willow Tate is now a complete shadow of her former self. Where is the kind third-grade teacher? The woman who was willing to sacrifice her own life for her unborn child. It looks like even she wants to know. When Willow slapped Lucas clear across the face during a General Hospital break room confrontation, she seemed more stunned than Lucas, who was stunned enough. There wasn't a word that Lucas said to Willow that wasn't true, but Willow and the truth no longer go hand in hand. She can't stand hearing anything negative about herself because nothing is ever her fault. But even the hysterical Willow, who showed up at Carly's front door looking like the bride of Chucky, would never have slapped anyone across the face, especially Lucas. Heck, she didn't even slap Nina or Drew, the two people she sees as doing the most wrong to her. Lucas didn't say anything more egregious to Willow than anyone else has lately. He just seemed to be on the receiving end of her slap because he was there right at the moment she snapped and then terrified even herself. One might think stalking a baby was Willow's true turning point, but this may have been the moment when it all changed. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full GH recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. Seeing Britt Westbourne at the Five Poppies Resort was the last thing on Jocelyn's bingo card when she thought she was on a pretty simple mission to scope out the lay of the land. But there she is, in the flesh, having Vaughn rub some sunscreen onto her flesh. Jocelyn later becomes hysterical with Vaughn when she tells him that the woman he was flirting with is supposed to be dead. In fact, she died after saving Jocelyn from a poison hook. Jocelyn has no idea how she survived. But does Vaughn already know? He had to be chatting up Britt for a reason, right? Meanwhile, Pascal reprimands Britt for not dedicating herself to her research. Britt reminds the resort manager that he is not the one in charge. They all know that someone else is pulling the strings. The man known as Drew Kane becomes more unrecognizable by the day. There was one time he thought Danny was his son and was raising him with Sam. Now, he tries to have him arrested for kidnapping because he picked up his sister from camp and brought her to see her great-grandmother. Alexis tears into Drew for this stunt before Jason gets to him. Jason tells his brother never to go through his son again just for some petty revenge. Drew is set to make a declaration. Does that mean he is about to make the situation 10 times worse? Anna might need even more help from Jason after he deals with his Drew and Danny mess. She once again takes Jack to task for sending a novice agent on such a dangerous mission. Anna feels something has already gone wrong, but Jack insists that he would have heard something if it had. Will Anna tell Jack what she knows about Britt? Does Jack already know? Is that why he really sent Jocelyn and Vaughn into the wild in Croatia? General Hospital spoilers reveal that fans are asking if Carly Spencer's revenge will turn deadly. Some ominous Jack Brennan clues could spell trouble, so let's talk about what could be in store. As Brennan came clean about the reason why the WSB's Port Charles office exists, he talked about the threat and admitted he might have to disappear on Carly for a while. Brennan couldn't get into the details, but Carly understood the need for secrecy with his job. Of course, Carly would be singing a different tune if she knew Brennan recruited Jocelyn Jacks to the WSB. That's Carly's beloved daughter, so she doesn't mess around when it comes to Jocelyn's safety. Since Carly already lost Morgan Corinthos, she couldn't bear the thought of losing Jocelyn too. Brennan steered Jocelyn toward an extremely dangerous line of work, one that requires her to lie to her family and friends on a daily basis. This isn't the life Carly would have picked for Jocelyn at all, so she's going to be livid when the truth comes out. However, we have to consider what Carly's revenge will look like when the time comes. It could go further than just dumping Brennan and never speaking to him again. That brings us to an intriguing exchange between Brennan and Carly in the August 11th episode. Brennan noted that one of the first things they teach in his line of work is that you can't count on the future. With that in mind, Brennan suggested he was happy for whatever time he got to have with Carly. Of course, Carly saw things differently and offered some hope for their future instead. You sound like a fatalist. I'm an optimist. So as far as I'm concerned, we got all the time in the world, Carly insisted. Carly will naturally be proven wrong once her relationship with Brennan blows up. It's possible GH writers were just hinting about Carly and Brennan's inevitable split. But what if there's more to the story? After all, Jason Morgan made Carly a disturbing promise back in March. Since Jason was wary of Carly's involvement with Brennan, he insisted that whatever happened to Carly would happen to Brennan as well. If Carly winds up hurt, Jason intends to hurt Brennan. If Carly were to end up deceased, then Jason would make Brennan face the same fate. It's safe to say those promises extend to Jocelyn too, so it'll be interesting to see what happens as the storyline moves along. Jason has proven he's willing to take Brennan out, so what if Carly orders a hit on her soon-to-be former flame? We wouldn't put it past Carly to be angry enough to kill Brennan, though she'd probably ask Jason to get the job done. That doesn't mean Jason will necessarily go through with it, especially if Carly changes her mind and calls it off at the last second. Nevertheless, there's the potential for Carly to turn sinister. So many fans are wondering just how far her payback will go. General Hospital spoilers suggest Carly's revenge could send her off the rails down the road, so stay tuned for updates on her reaction to the news about Jocelyn's WSB gig. What else is coming up on GH? Willow briefs Elizabeth, and Rocco's reassures Gio. In addition to Britt being reprimanded, General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, August 13, 2025, will also focus on Anna demanding intel from Brennan. Plus, Drew makes a stunning declaration. The 5 Poppies de Dalmatia is really turning out to be a prison of sorts for Britt. The mystery boss behind whatever Britt is doing in the lab is willing to resort to scary methods to get what he wants. According to Pascal, he isn't beyond keeping her medication away from her unless she gets back in that lab and produces something. The teasers suggest that Britt is reprimanded, presumably because she's not working relentlessly in the lab. Lately, she has taken a chill approach to the work. Since Pascal seems to be the boss's eyes and ears, we're betting that he's the one who suddenly scolds Britt. He's had no problems doing this so far, after all. Meanwhile, in Port Charles, expect another confrontation between PC's police commissioner and the town's WSB station chief. When Anna demands intel from Brennan, she may want details on what nefarious concoction or weapon they're trying to create over in Croatia. Drew is currently in his burn everything down phase. Keeping this in mind, Drew is about to make a stunning declaration. Will whatever he unleashes have serious ramifications? Let's see if Drew can make it through this without drawing an equally intense response from the many enemies he's collected recently. While Drew deals with the fallout from his declaration, look for Willow to brief Elizabeth. The head nurse has really stepped up for Willow in a big way. Hopefully, she'll be able to advise Willow accordingly. And even more than that, Willow will truly listen to her boss and stop making things worse for herself. It has really been a slow burn regarding Gio connecting with his newfound family. Rocco and Gio have had a couple of positive bro moments since Gio's world blew up, and there may be another one on the way, considering Rocco is about to reassure Gio. The friendship between Police Commissioner Anna Devane and Mafia hitman extraordinaire Jason Morgan on General Hospital has grown over the years. While Jason is incredibly lethal, he's not a bad guy and has dispatched many villains over the years. So has Anna, who began her career as a super spy and now calls on Jason once in a while to help get to the bottom of a mystery. Burton posted a hysterical video he took while on the show's set and had fans laughing out loud. General Hospital star Steve Burton wrote on Instagram, "Grateful for this job. Nim," along with some crying laughing emojis. Attached to the post was a video he made where he's skulking around in the shadows of various set pieces. He slips into one of the show's hospital office sets and grabs a prop award from a bookshelf. In a whisper, he stated, "Hey, I've got to make this quick. I don't want to get caught." He then held it up and further said, "I'm Jason Morgan, and I want to thank the PCPD for not convicting anyone since the day before Luke and Laura's wedding, for allowing me to solve the majority of their crimes, and for always showing up after I've handled everything. You guys are the best." A door latch was heard, and he quickly looked to see who it was when the clip ended. His new bride, Michelle Lundstrom, commented, "Love this too much." Soap news reporter Michael Fairman agreed with what Jason had to say, responding, "I mean, so true." A fan, at Kellix Nicole, went along with the General Hospital actor's joke with the comment, "The day before Luke and Laura's wedding." Luke and Laura were wed in 1981, after saving the world from being frozen by the evil Cassadine family. At Janice.H. Curry hilariously joined in, responding, "I couldn't have said it better myself." Overall, the fans thought his post was side-splittingly funny, although a few of them didn't quite get the joke and congratulated Burton for winning. Something, as at Cindy Bertek 14 responded, "Congratulations, Steve Burton. You deserve it. You work hard for it." At Ruby2Toby shared their speculation with, "I wondered about the PCPD because Jason seems to always do their job for them." While at the Robert Smith Eye jokingly revealed, "You are the PCPD." And another viewer, at Santa Fang, shared their wish, writing, "I need him and Anna to team up more often." General Hospital spoilers tease that Willow Tate has become a lot darker since her life got derailed by Drew Kane. She's been compared to her sinister sister, Nell Benson. But is that really fair? Nina Reeves did not raise her daughters, but they are an awful lot like her. Let's unpack this messy sitch, GH fans. Before Nell died, she did a lot of damage in PC. She was responsible for Carly Spencer going to Ferncliff and having Michael Corinthos think Wiley Corinthos was dead. Nell was heartless, a shady lady who delighted in causing chaos. It could be argued that Willow's behavior is nowhere near that of her sisters. But what about her attitude? Some fans think that Weeping Willow plays the victim card too much and stands on sacred ground. For example, Willow signed off on Drew Kane blackmailing Portia Robinson to make Michael look like a drug addict and thus an unfit parent. Willow excuses bad behavior since she wants her children back. She also was the one who stalked baby Daisy Gilmore. This resulted in Sasha Gilmore Corbin leaving town to protect themselves. And, like most of the town, Willow is a garden variety cheater. Can any of this compare to Nell's demented shenanigans? Maybe, if you consider that Willow's sanctimoniousness sugarcoats her bad behavior. For all she was, Nell was pleased to be psycho. Willow has been through a lot. She was in a cult because of her mother, and she was made to keep a distance from her kids due to her affair with Drew. Explosive General Hospital spoilers tease that Willow's comeuppance is coming. Who do you think is the worst villain, Nell or Willow? And what should happen to Willow after all of her meanness? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with General Hospital right now. Come back here often for the hottest GH updates, news, and spoilers. Get comfortable and gain access to the best soap intel on the web. General Hospital spoilers tease hint that Ava Jerome has been a thorn in the extended Davis family rear, and it's about to get worse. In the August 7th episode, Felicia Scorpio invited Cody to Max Scorpio's BBQ. Will he bring Ava as his +1? Definitely maybe. Molly Lansing Davis is also invited, and as such, we see and hear fireworks if this trio gets in close proximity. Let's dish the juicy dirt, GH fans! After Molly's recent rant against Cody, he didn't want to go to the BBQ. As usual, the messy situation is down to Molly's meddling sister, Christina Corinthos Davis. Christina is planting doubts in Molly's mind about Cody, and because of her attitude toward him, Cody told Felicia he shouldn't be at the BBQ. Felicia wouldn't take no for an answer, so the ish is about to hit the fan. Daytime parties, like soap weddings, are events where the dramarama gets ramped up. Half the town is usually present, so all their beefs are front and center, and we expect this late summer bash to be no different. The party would be awkward enough with Cody and Molly in attendance, but Ava's elevates the tension exponentially for many different reasons. Ava may use Cody to make Rick Lansing jealous, or as a rebound. Let's face it, he's easy on the eyes, accommodating, and has a rap sheet a mile long. Wait a minute, let's forget about that last one. Ava and Cody have Riz, and it's not above her to flaunt herself in public. In other words, Ava would relish the thought of being on Cody's arm at the BBQ. Ava would put on a master show if Rick and Elizabeth Baldwin are at the party, further ruffling feathers. What Ava doesn't know is that Christina's paying Cody to keep her busy. And when she finds out, there will be heck to pay. Christina wants Molly away from Cody and is paying him to achieve her goal. Of course, this is all extremely shady, but that is Chrissy's middle name. Explosive General Hospital spoilers hint that Molly could be in for an emotional eruption soon, and you don't want to miss a single minute of the over-the-top Davis scene stealing. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with General Hospital right now. Come back here often for the hottest GH updates, news, and spoilers. Get comfortable and gain access to the best soap intel on the web. General Hospital spoilers are in for Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Britt Westbourne to face a loss. Willow Tate updates Elizabeth Baldwin. Plus, Drew Cain continues pushing for Danny Morgan's arrest. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the ABC soap opera. Let's begin with Britt, who thought everything was oddly okay after she did some work in the lab. She got her medication back, but things aren't smooth. Later, Britt ends up getting punished. Does this have something to do with her and Vaughn's interaction at the pool? Britt does tell Pascal during a clip in the GH preview for the August 13th show that he's not the one really in charge here. So, that will likely be another mistake. Over with Anna Devane, she confronts Jack Brennan. The commissioner is concerned that something has gone wrong on the mission. However, Jack insists that he would know if something happened. Anna looks at him and says, "Are you sure about that?" General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, August 13th, reveal that Liz will make a shocking discovery. The nurse will get updated from Willow about Drew's hospital ambush, then her fight with Lucas Jones. Of course, Liz will be horrified that things went that far. Willow could lose her job after slapping Lucas across the face like that. Liz will likely try to do damage control. However, there is only so much she can do for Willow. Over with Drew, he will continue ordering Harrison Chase to arrest someone he doesn't want to. Of course, that person is Danny, who took Scout Quartermain from camp. However, Scout didn't want anyone to call her father. She just wanted her other family members. While Danny is just a kid and didn't mean any harm, Drew will keep pushing for him to be taught a lesson. That is when Alexis Davis demands that Drew stop this nonsense. There is also Jocelyn Jacks, who is still reeling from the shock of seeing Britt, and tells Vaughn she's supposed to be dead. Across town, Carly Spencer explains to Liesl Obrecht. The blonde urges the doctor not to get between Rocco and his parents. As for Jason Morgan, he makes himself crystal clear to Drew. "Don't ever do that to my son again." Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Wednesday, August 13th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on ABC to find out what happens next. He should not have done that. Drew has done plenty of unbelievable things this last year, but he made his biggest mistake yet during the August 12th, 25 episode of General Hospital, and he's going to regret it. Scout has been on everyone's mind lately now that things have gone downhill for Drillo. Drew is ready to move himself and his daughter to DC, but Alexis knows Sam wouldn't have wanted her daughter separated from her family. While Alexis has been trying to figure out a way to keep Scout in Port Charles, the kids had other plans. Jason was Danny's first call when took Scout from camp and brought her to the Quartermains. It was Scout's request, of course, but Danny knew taking her without permission to lead to consequences. While Jason called Alexis over to figure out what to do, Drew was already getting a call from the camp informing him that his daughter was missing. That's when he got hold of Chase and headed to the mansion. When Drew arrived, he reunited with his daughter and sent her to the car before laying into everyone. He wasn't even surprised to see them all there, but after Danny confronted him about taking his sister away, Drew made his worst move yet. "Detective Chase, please arrest Danny Morgan for kidnapping my daughter," Drew told Chase, leaving Danny and Alexis shocked while Jason started his brother down. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!